So I already mentioned this before, that Novaria is really one of the biggest beneficiaries right now as a roamer because of the recent buff. She's the most suited mage to play as a roamer, since all of her skills can provide vision of the enemies. And we all know that when that happens, she gains gold and EXP for every enemy she reveals on the map. This Alucard clearly doesn't read the patch notes, since he even used his retribution on a jungle creep. As far as I know, even if your teammate last hits the buff within the first 2 minutes, the gold, EXP, and the buff itself will still go to the jungler. So even if an ally gets the last hit, it's still yours as long as it's within the first 2 minutes of the game. That's why his retribution was wasted there, and the enemy jungler could have invaded him, especially since his HP was already low at that point. I think this is the perfect time to use Novaria since our EXP laner is a tank, and our jungler can sustain. Normally this would work well, but the enemy's lineup looks like it came straight out of MPL. Even Arlott went for a tank build, which we don't usually see in ranked games since the meta there is damage build. Novaria shines more when there's no assassin on the enemy team, and since Arlott went tank, he doesn't really fill that assassin role in this match. The problem, though, is that the enemy has 3 tanky heroes, so it's still tough. It would have been good because our jungler and marksman both deal physical damage, and with Novaria providing magic damage, that balance is important. The biggest flaw in our draft, however, is that we're all burst damage with not enough crowd control compared to the enemy team.
Come to me. Everyone gets in this. Shine for me.
Their jungler is really eager to kill me, but he doesn't have enough mobility or damage to actually take me down. It's just so satisfying whenever you hit someone with Novaria's second skill, since it always takes out about half of their HP. Just remember that Novaria's second skill can reveal enemies even without hitting anyone, and the vision it provides covers a really wide area. Aside from getting gold and EXP, that vision is also a huge help for your teammates. But of course, that only matters if they actually pay attention to the map. If they don't, then that vision is pretty much useless when your teammates are blind.
Stargazing is not lonely in Eruditio. Celestial revelation!
I went with Dire Hit as my roam blessing here, and it really amplifies my teammates' damage whenever they target an enemy I've already hit. That's why our Gusion looks insanely strong in this game. But the problem are jungler and marksman, which are both physical damage, which left a big gap and made this match much harder than it should have been. Well, you'll see later what I mean. When even Granger prioritizes Rose Gold Meteor and Athena's shield instead of Wind of Nature, it just shows that he doesn't see any real threat from our jungler and marksman. And marksmen like Melissa, who are locked into crit builds and have a straightforward way of engaging, are way too easy to counter through items alone, especially against a lineup full of tanks. Of course, the player using them is also a big factor. Honestly, this Melissa felt just like your average Miya user. Oops. Same with Alucard, and that's why we don't see him in pro play. He's way too easy to counter, just like in this game. But again, it depends a lot on the player too. When the enemy has a chip, you should always move as a group. But as you can see here, our jungler and marksman didn't really get that.
Perfect shot. My home has long gone.
There you go. He just dove straight into 4 enemies with tons of CC. Even a snowballed Alucard would die in that situation. So what more if he's already behind?
Revelation.
But this is what I really enjoy about playing Novaria, when my second skill actually hits the enemy. But when it doesn't, it's frustrating and I just feel useless. One thing I can say for sure about Novaria is that she's not good for solo players. Even though I've said she's the best mage roamer right now, and even though the vision she provides is such a huge factor in the game, it's completely useless if your teammates don't have map awareness. That's just how Novaria is. She can provide tons of vision and deal huge damage from afar, but she can't kill enemies alone. She shines more in teamfights. Those are the kinds of moments where no matter what hero you use, there's really nothing you can do, especially when your teammates throw like that. So if we lose this game, people will probably blame it on me for using this hero. They'll start saying, "Ah, you should have won if you just picked a tank." But we can clearly see that my teammates keep dying stupidly whenever I'm not around. Novaria can't really carry the game like some assassin or fighter roamers, and she can't even push effectively. No matter how well you play her, at the end of the day, she'll always rely on her teammates, especially the jungler and the marksman. So yeah, I died here trying to miraculously steal the Lord, but I couldn't pull it off. I guess luck just wasn't on my side in this game. But what's funny is what happened next. Arlott and Fredrin are supposedly a godly combo, but sometimes they're really not. And honestly, it's just hilarious. No one from the enemy team even died there. They're just too tanky, and at the same time, my teammates barely have any damage.
Superb control.
Anyways, let's forget about that loss. Here's a very special game against a Miya. The enemy Miya was actually top 25 global, and their Popol and Koopa was top 26 global. But the funny thing is, I didn't even feel like I was up against a top global Miya in this match. She just felt like the usual Miya players I face in ranked games. So does that mean they're all equally skilled? Or maybe their gameplay IQs aren't really that far apart? What the heck? Or maybe that's just how trash Miya is right now? I mean, she's a no-mobility marksman, and in the current meta, she's just too easy to kill. On top of that, crit build is the only thing that really works for her, which makes her so easy to counter, especially since she needs to get close to her enemies to actually fight. Her range isn't even long enough to make up for her lack of mobility. Oops, my bad. She's actually strong right now, I was just kidding. You seem way too eager against me, though. That's why you keep diving in alone at the enemy. But I really doubt that's a good play for a marksman this early in the game. Still, I guess that's all they can really do. Be it assassin or utility jungler, if you really know what you're doing, it's so easy to deal with a team that has Miya as their marksman. If you're a utility type, you can just build blade armor and dominance ice. And if you're an assassin, Miya is basically just a practice target that doesn't move, since she has no mobility at all. But for all the Miya users out there, don't take it personally. So please hit that subscribe button. I'll probably stop hating on Miya if you subscribe to my channel. You can even add me on my ML account so we can play together. Who knows, I might even make a tutorial video about Miya someday. You know my video wouldn't be complete without mentioning your main hero,